Yeah, very good Monday night to everybody. Happy weather extra time. Got the radar up, and I said storms will be out by 9, and they're fizzling quickly, but there's still some decent downpours. So what you see is you see that ring around the radar. That's just ground clutter at the radar. But if you look very closely, right by the S in Scottsboro, there's a downpour just north of you, so near Larkinsville. And there's some showers that extend all the way back into southeastern Huntsville, mainly just some rain. And then there's another little cluster of like heavy rainfall headed to Fort Payne right now. So that's the last hurrah. This should be just about done. There's like a slight chance of a shower during the overnight. I think fog will probably be more of an impact by tomorrow morning than any kind of rainfall for the morning commute, though. Hey, Adam. Hi, Mia. Good to see you on. Always a pleasure to see you both on. So we tracked some storms earlier. I'm going to pull this up and fade this to big so you can see it. There you go. So there's the last of the rainfall for tonight. There's still more coming tomorrow, but pretty decent pop of storms this afternoon. There was I think it was on Lavert Avenue in Athens, reported a tree and pole down at one point. There was some larger hail, a lot of heavy rain too. Most of you writing me on Facebook was like, it is raining so heavy. And of course that timed out to be with the evening commute. I was watching some of the cameras and it was slow go on the parkway. And yeah, badly timed storms. We knew they were going to come. We still have that big area of low pressure that we've been talking about since last Friday. And it's just spinning around to our west and just keeping much of the deep south. It's not just the Tennessee Valley, but so many locations have had their monthly rainfall already, and we're not even halfway through the month. We've had a soaking rain here in the Tennessee Valley. And our temperatures have been below average too. That's all going to change here drastically, because we're going to really heat things up by the end of the week. It's going to get quite warm. Jeanette, good evening. Good to see you on. And Adam just said, I thought I heard thunder, and you did. It's near you. There's a little lightning with that, too, right by Fort Payne. So there's your big low pressure. A lot of the storms today wrapping around that low heat-induced or daytime heating, popping a few storms. Now we're losing that daytime heating, and then the overall coverage is backing off just a bit. For our area, a slight chance of a shower overnight, but again, fog will be the biggest concern. But this low pressure is still part of our forecast tomorrow, so we're not done yet. Still got to deal with some more scattered showers and storms for Tuesday afternoon. I don't think the coverage would be quite as much as it was today, but there'll still be some impact, okay? So isolated shower happening tonight. Patchy fog, we're around 60. And forecast model showing, see that little blob there by Albertville? That's the forecast model picking up on that shower that's right near Fort Payne. It's a little behind, but you get the gist. Going to tonight, you'll see by 7 a.m. a slight chance of a shower from now until then, but this is mainly just cloudy and foggy when you wake up. We're around 60. And then by the time we get to the noontime hour, here we go again. A few showers and storms fire up across the area, wrapping around that low pressure that will be off to our north and west. And as it continues to move off to the east, it'll throw back some showers and storms. Some of the rainfall will be heavy at times. I don't think there's severe storms, but they could bring wind gusts up to about 30 miles an hour. And then by 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., still a few isolated showers and storms. They'll fizzle out before 9 o'clock, and you think we're done, but we're not. One more little wave of showers and storms will fire up during the overnight, and they'll be with you for really early Wednesday morning. There they are. And by the time we get to the noontime hour on Wednesday, we'll finally move the storms out, pop some sunshine, and I think a lot of those 70s that you see there on that graphic will be 80s, because once the sun pops, the temperatures will warm significantly through the afternoon on Wednesday. It'll happen really fast. So I put a few showers at 1, a few showers at 4. Could be a few rumbles of thunder mixed in there too. And then at 7 p.m. quiet. But again, don't forget there's one more round that has to come in after midnight. And that's why we added the 20% for Wednesday to cover those storms in the morning. Temperature of 83 for the high. And then it gets hot for Thursday, Friday. I'm going to talk about that for 1 second. I just want to make sure keep an eye on the comments. Dawn says, thundering in Macedonia. Thank you, Dawn, and hello to you. Hi, Rayanne King Shad. I hope the rain eventually lets up. We can have swimming pool weather, not rain all summer long. Well, it's still only spring, so we got time. We got time. Summer doesn't happen until another month. So let's get all the rain out now, right? And then by summer, you can have all those pool days. So you might want to do a pool day Thursday. Upper 80s to near 90 degrees with some sun mixed with a few clouds. The Friday temperature is really tricky. Forecast models have some storms coming in, and I'm going to address this here right now, Friday night into Saturday. But if the storms come in a little early, right, and they make it here during the afternoon hours, we won't hit 89. We won't have enough time. We need like the day to be almost completely sunny to hit 89. So if we have clouds that come in the afternoon, and the forecast models have been a little faster with the storms on Friday, we'll probably get stuck about 83 or 84. But if you can push those storms back till nighttime, we have a chance to hit 90 by the end of the week. We have not hit 90 in Huntsville yet this year. On average, it happens about this time of year. But yeah, so you got your storms coming in Friday night. Got to make sure that we keep you updated through the week. Friday night and to Saturday, the storms could be strong, could be severe, and it certainly have a huge impact on the first half of the weekend. There's still some more storms on Sunday, but if I was a betting man, I would say Saturday will probably be wetter than Sunday. And that unsettled pattern continues for next week too. More rain Monday, probably again Wednesday. That Wednesday may be more like Thursday. Depends on when the front passes through. But still, multiple opportunities for rain. It just keeps on coming. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. Adam, these summer-type storms can really pack some lightning with them. Yeah, when we get to summer, they really do. They're doing it in spring right now, too, because we're not in summer yet. Still got another month to go. Actually, almost 5 weeks until summer gets here, for sure. We're almost there. Kaylee says, any severe weather on our weekly outlook? I think the time frame, Kaylee, that we'd have to keep an eye on would be Friday night into Saturday. And there's indication that there could be some stronger storms, certainly some big-time wind makers. And see if it's going to be anything more as we get closer to that day. It's still only Tuesday, but certainly an impact, and I would definitely keep an eye on the forecast for Friday night into Saturday, especially if they become a night situation, because everyone hates those night storms that are strong or severe. They could be very, when it's dark outside, it's a very, you're on edge, because you can't see things at night, obviously. Sometimes, like today, how many of you sent me pictures of the storm clouds today, right? You can see things. You can't really see them at night. But I'm going to go back to the radar. You see the 10-day. Heather says, I'm sick of the rain and storms. Yeah, it's funny that you say that, though, Heather, because I had somebody write something on my Facebook page tonight, and they're like, you say it's going to rain every day, and I haven't had one drop all week long. Since last Wednesday, not one raindrop has hit my house. So now I was kind of laughing. I was like thinking to myself, I said, oh, no, what's your location? Where are you at? And he's like, Huntsville, right by the airport. I was like, okay. So I look up the numbers, and the airport is way above average for the month. Did only have 0.01 on Mother's Day, though, because Mother's Day, Mother Nature's a mother, so she said no rain for the moms. But yeah, like I was like, you haven't had one drop of rain, but you live by the airport, and the airport's had, after today, probably 5 inches for the month. So that's an unbelievable dome that you have over your house there, my friend. But that's how it is. Adam says, I'm sure we'll be cooking this summer with the heat. Yeah, that's a given in the Tennessee Valley for sure. Matthew, yep, thank you. I'm going to put the radar back up. I was just talking about the storm out by Fort Payne and Fife. And let me just zero back on this for a minute. It's the last hurrah. One last little storm, one last little shower tonight, all around that low pressure. There it is. I'll pull it up full so you can see it better. But there you are, Fife, Sylvania, Fort Payne, lightning. It's the only lightning really on there. Might be a little lightning with that little red and yellow up by Scottsboro, up towards Princeton, Trenton. But a lot of that little ring that you see around High Top is ground clutter, so you got to look really closely at the where the rain is actually falling. Eastern Huntsville right now, southeast Huntsville is getting some rain. Not the storm. The only real player storm-wise is the one that Matthew was just talking about near Fife. So shouldn't be severe, just going to be a thunderstorm. But Obviously, if you have thunderstorm anxiety, it freaks you out. But a lot of lightning with that, though. That one little cell right there. It's actually survived. It was down by Birmingham. When most of the rain lived north of us this evening, there was one little player down by Birmingham, and that's what's left of it. It was actually moving north, and it kind of veered off to the east a bit, and now it's getting ready to affect areas in DeKalb County. And that should be the last of really any decent thunder and lightning overnight. Again, an isolated shower overnight, but that's about it. Should be just about done with it. Kaylee says, when are we looking at it not raining as much? I'm tired of storms and anxiety. Need a break. I just had the 10-day up, Kaylee, and talked about how most of Wednesday will be dry, much of Thursday will be dry, and most of Friday will be dry. Friday's a tricky one, though, because if the storms come in early in the afternoon, that blows that. But we should be okay. Edward, my man, how are you doing? I'm eating tacos and watching your FB stream. Have a great night. You know what, Edward? Tacos sound good, my friend. Are you sharing? Because that sounds, what kind of tacos you got? Because I'm starving. Usually, I wait until Taco Tuesday, and my buddy D, and we always talk. Are you having tacos? Yeah, we have tacos. Hi, Lois Long from Scottsboro. Speaking of Scottsboro, Lois, a little storm just south of you. If you're in Scottsboro right now, Lois, I want you to be safe, of course. But if you were to look south, or maybe even southeast a little bit, you'd probably see the lightning from that storm near Fife. Downpour north of you. I'm not sure what part. Scottsboro's big, so I'm not really sure exactly what part of Scottsboro, but there's a lot of ground to cover in Scottsboro. I'm out there quite a bit. I know. Adam says, no rain where I'm at, but I can see the lightning and hear the thunder. Yes. Sometimes the storm doesn't have to be right above you to have both, right? I mean, I've actually got the Decatur camera that you can't see, but I have it under here. I literally just saw like a bolt of like the sky brighten up. So I have it looking to the east. So that would be the lightning from that storm in Fife. There's nothing near Decatur right now, so it has to be that. Lightning, I think it was one time I was working like a Saturday morning here, and I had a viewer from Decatur, and she's like, I have a thunderstorm right now. And I was like, there's nothing on the radar. What it was is she was seeing the lightning at like 2 in the morning. That was a storm up in Fayetteville that was moving north, and she could see the lightning. And she's like, I have a thunderstorm. I can see the lightning. It's happening right now, and you're not even talking about it. And I'm like, well, I posted where the thunderstorm was, but what she could see is the lightning in the distance. It's dark outside, right? So the lightning brightens the sky up. You can see it forever. Mia, we love our weathers. We do. We love our weather buddies, of course. Everybody's cool on here. We're good. Charles Cole, he says, you did good. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Kaylee says, you can see the lightning in Albertville and hear some of the thunder as well. You can. That storm is going away from you, though, Kaylee, so you're good to go. You don't have to worry. It's going towards Fort Payne, Sylvania, Fife, right up towards Rainsville right now. It should rain in Rainsville. I say that all the time. It's such a bad dad joke. Christy, do we have a chance for rain tomorrow evening in Huntsville? We do, Christy. The big low pressure that's responsible for the showers and storms that we feel like we've been having almost every day, that low pressure is still part of the forecast tomorrow. So we'll fire up a few showers and storms in the afternoon and evening till about 7, 8, and then the storms will back off. And then another round comes in after midnight into Wednesday morning. And then once that's out of here, that low pressure will be far enough away not to have an impact anymore. But there are still a chance for some showers and storms tomorrow for sure. Probably not severe, but heavy rainmakers. And if there's like sporting events taking place, if there's any lightning, they have to pull everybody off the field, and that becomes an issue. And there could be some lightning tomorrow too. Probably will be lightning as well. Pam says, I'm surprised it didn't hit Collinsville. It looked like it was, but have only heard thunder. It just missed you, actually. In fact, it got a little bit juicier after it moved past you. It has more lightning now than it did when it was just to the south. So really close. But yeah, probably a big light show for you. If you look off to the north, it's probably lighting up the whole sky, right? Peggy says, hey from Owens Crossroads, hello. We will be getting more rain this week. We are getting swampy again. We received rain from this. That's basically it. Received rain from this. Yeah, the Owens Crossroads picked up almost like 5 inches of rain this month of May. So that's probably why you're pretty soggy. I would imagine on Saturday you had pretty good slug of rain that moved through. But yes, there's more rain coming. Scattered showers and storms again tomorrow, lingering into the evening, and then one more round Tuesday night into Wednesday. And there's another round of storms coming in Friday afternoon, Saturday, and there looks like there'll be more storms on Sunday too. So, yeah, very rainy pattern will continue, and I'm sure that the swampy conditions will continue. My backyard's pretty swampy, very muddy. The dogs go outside and they put their paws down. They're like, this is not good. I don't have a lot of mud. I just have everything's wet. Kaylee says, yay, I won't be up until 2 a.m. again. Sorry about that. I was half asleep and had no clue what was going on. Oh, last night. Yeah, you know, and that's let me just address that for a second, Kaylee, because I was talking to my good friend Steven here at work. And he was like, wow, those storms last night, they were so loud and they were so bright and there's such heavy rainfall. And those are all things that do not qualify for a storm to be severe, all right? But boy, it's pretty scary last night. I had Rubble sleeping with me on the couch, his head up on my face, and he was shaking the whole night because the thunder was loud. It was intimidating. One of those night storms again, too, right, where everybody freaks out because you can't see what's going on. All you see is the lightning outside, and it's like a lot going on, and the thunder's shaking the house, and the rain's coming down heavy at times. That's what we had last night. Eric Burke came into work this morning, and he was like, yeah, nothing severe, but, you know, people were like, hey, what's going on? And that's just because it's impactful. It doesn't have to always be a severe thunderstorm, especially for those of you who have a dog that won't sleep during thunderstorms like me. I was up all night. Or maybe you just have the anxiety of a thunderstorm and not knowing, like, especially at night when you can't see it, you know, it gets tough. Deidre Keith, what about Talladega? I haven't even looked at Talladega. Not my area, but I think, let me see here. If I base it on the forecast models for our area, I would assume Talladega will have less of a chance of rain tomorrow. Certainly less of a chance of rain on Wednesday, but then I would imagine that rain for Talladega will likely increase for Friday and probably be an impact Friday night into Saturday for Talladega, and probably some storms on Sunday. Are you going down there, a trip? Are you doing something down there to have fun, or do you live in Talladega? Let me know. Edward's like, yes, more rain for all. Pam says, thank you for keeping us informed. We appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that, Pam. Thank you very much. It's good stuff. Thank you for watching. Hi, Donna Oliver. Dio from PC is in the house. Good to see you, Dio. That's her initials and PC initials, Phil Campbell. That's how we put that together. T-ball games in section 530. What do you think? Will they get in? That's a tricky one. When you have showers and thunderstorms, much like today, it was a little easier today to time them out because there was going to be one big cluster that moved north, and that was a no-brainer. But tomorrow is a little different because it's not like a big cluster. They're going to be like these little renegade showers and storms. So if one lines up near section at 5:30, which I think would be a very, very high possibility, it would make it very difficult to have a T-ball game for sure. I think areas in section have a better chance of having a thunderstorm at 5:30 than areas west of you or north of you or south of you. I think areas, we'll say like from Scottsboro Highway, between Scottsboro Highway and I-59, that time frame between 5 and 6:30 would be the chance that you'd probably have a thunderstorm. So I wish I had better news, but unfortunately, Pam says, right, glad it missed us. Good. Adam says, wind just started gusting here and fog is moving in. Yeah, there'll probably be fog for that morning commute tomorrow. Pretty much everybody had rain today. If you didn't, I don't know how you missed it. It was like an entire line that moved south to north and pretty much a lot of rain for everybody, heavier in some places. But the ground is pretty saturated. Not much wind tonight. Temperature fall back to the dew point. Should have some fog, especially near waterways, sheltered valleys, stuff like that. So I answered the Talladega question already. What is the red near Fort Payne? That's a thunderstorm. Yeah, we're still got some rain out there, Allie. Yeah, that's rain. Even a little lightning. See the little lightning bolts? Yep, that's a thunderstorm right there. Yep, and there's still a little rain near High Top. There's a lot of grossness there on the radar around High Top because you're getting a lot of ground clutter. But if you look closely, you see that storm in Fort Payne. That's still rainfall. Oh, you live in Talladega. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really cover Talladega, but I can help you out the best I can. You're welcome for the update, everybody. Lois says, I heard thunder and lightning earlier. It's scary at night. I don't like nighttime storms. Yeah, nighttime storms can be very freaky for sure. All right, I'll pop myself back up because I'm babbling endlessly, talking with you all, which I love, but I got to go on air at 10 o'clock. Margot is getting ready now, and she'll have the latest news stories for you at the top of the hour. And I will have an update on the forecast. I pretty much discussed it all with you here. I feel pretty confident that tonight, besides that last hurrah there with the storm near Fort Payne, we're good. I got to keep an eye out for tomorrow, more storms. Eric Burke will be here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, on air at 4:30. I have one more night where I fill in for Brad tomorrow night, and then the chief is back on Wednesday, and we get back to a somewhat normal schedule. Somewhat normal. Tori says it's hailing in Rainsville. I would imagine the tiny little penny-sized ones, right? Is what I would imagine. But thank you, Tori, for the update. I appreciate that. Gage says, I hear thunder, but my weather says there is none. Well, Gage, you can hear the thunder. I don't know where you live or where your location is, but if you're in the vicinity of Fort Payne, you probably hear the thunderstorm that's just about near Fife and Sylvania right now, is what I would assume. Rainsville as well. Yep. I don't know exactly where you live, though, Gage. So, Sandra says, storm in Rainsville. Yep. Got it. Talking about it right now. It's on the radar, too. Brian says it's hailing really bad. Tell me more about really bad, Brian. Is it like big hail or just a whole bunch of little tiny little penny-sized hail? Pea-sized hail. That's a better way to say it. Little tiny pea-sized hail, like a whole bunch of pea-sized hail on the ground? Or is it like big chunky hail that's like denting cars? Because that's what I'd be concerned about. If it's like really big 1-inch diameter hail that's like knocking like stuff through like your windshields of your cars, I need to know that. But if it's just little pea-sized hail, it's probably pulling down the colder air from the top of the thunderstorm and probably just will cover the ground and be harmless in the end. But the one where everybody takes a picture and puts it in their hand and says, look what I found, right? So I got to go, everybody. I got to get out there. It's 9:55. They're probably like, dude, you got to get out here. So everybody have a good night. Eric Burke back tomorrow morning. I'm on air now. Talk to you soon. Bye.